Hello and welcome to Get Out Lincoln. This is actually the debut episode, the maiden voyage of a new show where we're going to explore opportunities for Lincolnites to get out and do recreational and fun things. Today we've got a couple of great guests. We're going to talk about some endurance opportunities that are coming up late summer and fall. My name is Dave Manerick and I'm the director of the Nebraska Sports Council, which conducts the Cornhusker State Games, the Live Well Family Challenge, Live Healthy Nebraska Wellness Challenge, and other events and programs to help people get out, be healthy and active. And our first guest today is Jason Bakewell, and he is the event coordinator for the Market to Market Relay, which is a great event that started a few years back. Jason, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
Would you just tell us about the Market to Market Relay? What is it, how it got started?
Yeah, it's amazing. We're in our 5th year running this year, and it's a 78-mile relay that goes all the way from Memorial Park in Omaha, down the trail system and back roads of rural Nebraska, and finishes up on the Lincoln Trail system and right down into the Haymarket.
And what's the date of this event?
This year it's going to be October 13th, which is a Saturday, and it's an off Husker game day for all you runners out there.
That's very important. So the concept came from, I guess, the different areas of the communities that you start and finish in?
Yeah, 5 years ago, Ben Cahoon, who's the race director, just had a really creative idea and saw other successful relays around the country and said, hey, why can't we do this in Nebraska and kind of showcase what Eastern Nebraska has to offer? And so we just think it's a really unique mix of our great state and showing Omaha rural communities and then also the capital city in Lincoln.
And what kind of participant numbers do you expect for the event?
This year we've sold out at 400 teams, and so that translates into essentially over 3,000 runners this year.
3,000 runners.
Mm-hmm.
Now how far will each runner run? It's a relay, right?
Yeah, correct. So you can run in 6, 7, or 8 person teams, and so it essentially translates into running between 8 and 15 miles per person.
Okay, and they do this all at once, or do they split it up, each of their?
Yeah, they split it up. You can kind of compare it to a track relay is the best way of looking at it. One runner runs a stage that might be 3 to 5 miles long. A van kind of leapfrogs ahead and meets their runner at the next exchange point, which could be a turnoff on a county road or a small town. And then the next runner gets out, passes the baton, and they run the next stage.
So the runners, the teams are responsible for their own logistics out there in the course?
Yep, and I think that's what makes it kind of unique is that kind of teamwork, camaraderie, and hopping into a van with a group of friends or coworkers or maybe people you've never met, and definitely by the end of it, everybody's best mates for sure. People
you've never met, so you actually have teams that kind of come together on that day?
Yeah, for sure. Some people have a few members from their coworkers. Some people grab family members. I'm actually doing a relay this fall in Oregon, and I know only one person on the team. So I'm going to be meeting a whole group of other people and hanging out with them for the day.
Interesting way to get to know people.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you guys, you mentioned a little bit ago, you're trying something new with this 50K portion of it. Can you describe that and tell us about it?
Yeah, believe it or not, every year we have people that ask us, hey, I'd like to run the whole Market to Market Relay. I'd like to run all 78 miles. Can I do that? Can I run half of the relay? And up until this year, we've always said no, we're just doing a relay. But as kind of a special way to celebrate our 5th annual Market to Market Relay, we decided to put in a 50K. And so what that's going to be is we'll have a separate start line near Murdoch and Elmwood at Grandpa's Woods Golf Course, which for those who have been out there, it's a really cool, kind of unique, fun golf course. And so we'll be starting there, kicking runners out kind of right as the relay runners are starting to arrive at that point. And then they'll also finish in the Haymarket with the rest of the relayers. So I think it's kind of a unique event where usually ultra marathons, you only run with 100 other people, and this will give ultra athletes a chance to run with 3,000 other people and finish with a big party downtown Lincoln. So
now I know the ultra thing has gotten somewhat popular across the country, but it's still something that how many people would you expect to do the whole 50K?
Right now we have right at 100 people, and we anticipate between probably 200 and 300. And that sounds like a small race, but really, when you look at ultras across the country, a 200-person ultra marathon's a huge ultra marathon. I think some of the biggest ones are like 700 people. So
that's outstanding. And you also help conduct a race in the spring, right?
Yeah, the other race that we do is called the Leprechaun Chase 10K, and it's just kind of a fun run to get people out after a long winter and wear a bunch of green and go run around Mahoney State Park and Strategic Air and Space Museum. So we just do kind of a 10K loop starting there amongst all the historic airplanes and loop through the state park, come back in, and then it's all set up for a big post-race party.
The Leprechaun would tell me that it's sometime around St. Paddy's Day.
Yep, exactly. This year it's going to be March 9th, which is a Saturday.
And the format, there's some kind of a chase going on. How does that work?
Yeah, it's kind of a unique format where the girls get a head start, so they get like a 5.5-minute head start, and then we keep all the guys and hold them in kind of a separate pen, wait 5.5 minutes, and then let them go. And the way it works is if a guy crosses the finish line first, then they win free beverages for the guys, and if a girl crosses the finish line first, then the girls all win free drinks at the end.
Nice. Now, how many years has that one been going?
This was our third annual this year, and we were pretty excited to see a guy win. This was the first time a guy won this year, because people were starting to think that it was impossible for a guy to win it. So
tipping the scales for the girls usually.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Our other guest today, we want to talk with Bob Boyce, who is the president of the Great Plains Bicycling Club here in Lincoln. Bob, how did you get involved with the bicycling club?
When my wife and I first came to Lincoln in 1973, we didn't have a car, and so we got around by bike. That's how we got to work, to church, to stores, and so forth. And at that time, I was interested in bicycling, and so I contacted the bicycling club and got involved. My involvement dropped off after I had kids and did not have as much time. But then when my kids started biking again, then I started more participation in the club, and have now, since I've retired, stepped up to become president.
What is the mission of the club? What are you organized for?
We promote recreational bicycling in and around Lincoln. We don't do races. We have short races or short rides. We have longer rides as well. And we also do education, particularly for kids, but also for adults.
And what kind of events do you have coming up later this year?
There's going to be a nacho ride July the 2nd from the trailhead at 84th and on out to Eagle and back. That usually has between 100 and 200 riders. On July.
Now, before you go on,
right.
Why would they call it a nacho ride?
We go to the One-Eyed Dog Saloon out in Eagle, which is a family-friendly saloon, and they have nachos and biker specials, and so it's a great time to get together with other bikers to participate with them. And you don't have to have nachos, but it's
right on.
it's fun.
Okay, you were going on. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Sure. Then on the 4th of July, we're going to be out in Seward as part of their 4th of July celebration. They're the Firecracker 50. We will be riding from Seward on north on the highways and back. And that's depends on how far you want to ride, a 22-mile ride, or you can, of course, turn around at any point and go back, or a 50 or 60-mile ride. There will be, on July the 7th, there will be an ice cream ride, which I'll be leading starting at the Children's Zoo. We're going to ride down the trail to Culver's on Old Cheney Road and have ice cream, and then back. That's an 8-mile ride, and we're going to do that on July the 14th as well. There's always a ride, the nacho ride every Tuesday evening, and then Wednesday there's a show and go ride. Whoever shows up, they all talk about where they want to go and how far they want to go and how fast.
And besides just getting together socially and doing events that are healthy and fun, you guys do some advocacy, right? Or do you do that individually?
We do that. We have a bicycle booth, which we have at various health and wellness events throughout the city. We were at the Children's Zoo about 3 weeks ago. We were at Bryan Hospital Health Fair about 2 weeks ago. I saw 325 kids at the Bryan Hospital event.
Great, great. More and more, there's a lot of talk around this town about bicycling, much more promotion of bicycling to and from work, the commuting. Would you say that your group has been supportive of that?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Good.
And we try to encourage people to bike and to bike safely, responsibly.
So there's a couple of gentlemen who do a lot of work in our community to promote some great social endurance activities that'll help people stay healthy and well here in Lincoln, Nebraska. And you can check out their websites. We'll post those. You can also go to nebraskasportscouncil.com. We post these events on our calendar of events on the NSC events site. And we also have things coming up with the Cornhusker State Games, the Mud Run, the Pumpkin Run, some things that we conduct within the Nebraska Sports Council. But of course, check out some great events here, and we are very appreciative of you gentlemen for spending some time with us today. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Bob, for joining us today on Get Out Lincoln. We enjoyed hearing about these wonderful events that help people get active and stay fit.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks for having us.
Well, stay tuned. Our next segment is going to be focused on an inspirational story of a person who found health and wellness in an activity, and we think you'll enjoy it. So stay tuned.
Hi, my name's Tony, and I got into the Cornhusker State Games because of skydiving. Skydiving is something I've always wanted to do my whole life, and when I went to go do my first jump, I found out I was overweight by 40 pounds or so. And I was determined to skydive, so I lost the weight. I joined a gym, got a personal trainer, changed my eating habits, just living a healthy lifestyle. Lost about 60 pounds, and was able to skydive. And skydiving just made me live a healthy life. It changed my life forever. I continue to eat healthy. I do a lot of running now. That's why I'm doing the torch run. Along with doing the torch run, I'm also raising money for the American Cancer Society. A good friend of mine has cancer, so I'm dedicating my run to her. Anything's possible if you really push yourself and make it happen. Nothing's impossible.
We'll see you next time on Get Out Lincoln.